Hi, fifth graders. We're here at lesson 4 in Unit 2 on page 45 of the SAV. And we are going into the metric system. Why, you might ask? Because the metric system is a really great way to use decimals. And now that we're going further to the right of the decimal point, we will notice a lot more metric labels. So let's get started. Number 1, how many decimeters equal 1 meter? Now this is something that you would just need to remember from 4th grade, or you could use your place value chart at the bottom of this page. Now you can see that here's the meter, and then here's the decimeter. Notice this is going past the decimal point, so it's dividing by 10. So 1 meter divided into 10 equals 1 decimeter. So that means that there are 10 decimeters in 1 meter. How many millimeters equal 1 centimeter? So going down here again, you probably remember us doing this a lot last year. It wasn't on a place value chart, but it was on a chart similar to this. Going from millimeter to centimeter, we're doing 1 hop, and we're going to the left, which means that we are multiplying. So there will be more millimeters than centimeters. Oh, because this centimeter is larger, I see. Okay, but it's divided into millimeters that way. I had to think for a second because it's different than the chart we used before. So how many millimeters would be in 1 centimeter? If it's only 1 hop, then it's just going to be 10. If it was 2 hops, it would be 100, 3 hops, 1,000, etc. So it's 1 hop, so it is 10. How many millimeters equal 1 decimeter? Okay, so how many millimeters equal 1 decimeter? Well, now it's going to be 2 hops. 1, 2. So instead of 1 and 1 0, so 10, it's going to be 2 zeros, so 100. Is that starting to make sense? So every hop is a 0. How many millimeters equal 1 meter? Oh, we just keep going. So we've got millimeters. 1 hop was to centimeters, then to decimeters, now to meters. So we've got 3 hops, which means 3 zeros. And the beauty of the metric system is that this 1 just stays the same, right? All we're playing around with is the zeros. If we were talking about not 1, notice these ones, then obviously it wouldn't be a 1 over here. But because these are 1s, it's just a matter of zeros. How many centimeters equal 1 decimeter? So here's our centimeters. Here's our decimeters. How many centimeters equal 1 decimeter? That's 1 hop, right? So 1 hop is 10. 1 0. 1 0 per hop. How many centimeters equal 1 meter? Here's our centimeters. 1, 2. 2 hops, 2 zeros. 2 zeros, okay. The last row of the place value chart shows metric measures of length. The most common measurement units are meter, decimeter, centimeter, and millimeter, and they show you the abbreviation for those. Use the meaning of deci, 1/10, centi, 1/100th, and milli, 1,000th to fill in the right-hand side of the chart below. So we need to fill that in, and we're going to do so by figuring out what numbers would go down here. So if we know that deci is 1/10, then we're going to say the decimal 1/10. You can also see it right up there. See how they're the same? What about centi? We know centi means 1/100th. Milli means 1,000th. I'm just taking these from what they've shown us up here, this right here. Okay, and then we know that this is just going to be one whole. And over here, deca is 10. It says so right there. Hecto is 100. And kilo is 1,000. So you can use the information from these 2 paragraphs to help you realize this information down here. But it is the same as what's in the top row there. They're just showing us that those Greek prefixes make a huge difference, and they can be big clues when we're talking about place value, and especially the metric system. Real world word problems with metric lengths. Read each measurement below. Say the number of meters, decimeters, centimeters, and millimeters. For example, 7 and 284 thousandths of a meter is 7 meters, 2 decimeters, there's the 2, 8 centimeters, there's the 8, and 4 millimeters. Oh, okay. So what we have to do is read these saying how many of each one. So this would be 7 meters, 2 decimeters, 8 centimeters, and 4 millimeters. This one would be 45 meters, 1 decimeter, 3 centimeters, and 2 millimeters. See how that works? And if you forget what those places are, you can just go back to the previous page and look at that chart because they have them in order there. Write an equation, then solve. Tori had fabric that was 6 2/10 meters long. She used some and now has 1 45/100 meters. How much did she use? So thinking back to our comparison drawings, do we have the large number here, 5th graders? Yes, your comparison model is back. We can't go far without it. Do we have the big number? Yes, we do. We have her total was 6 2/10. And then we have one of the small numbers for 1 45/100 there. And then we're trying to find the difference between those two. How much did she use? So that is our variable. And I'll just do an F for fabric. So what operation should we use here? Addition or subtraction? Subtraction. And remember, we know it's just addition or subtraction when we're using this comparison model because it's a addition comparison model. Okay, so our equation is going to be 6 2/10 minus 1 45/100 equals F, and then of course F equals. Now when you're setting this up, be careful. Always put the decimal points very, very perfectly aligned. This is a great time to get out that lined paper and turn it on its side and have all your numbers stay in their lane, like we did so much last year. So we have 6 2/10 minus 1 45/100. Now, what can I put here as a placeholder? Because right now there's nothing on top of the 5, so how am I supposed to subtract? Can I put a 0 there? Yes, in fact, I should put a 0 there because remember that 20/100 is equivalent to 2/10. Okay, crossing off my 0, making it a 10, crossing off my 2, and making it a 1. 10 minus 5 equals 5. Then this 1 has to become an 11. Cross off the 6, make it a 5. 11 minus 4 equals 9, 10, 11, 12, no, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 7. And then my decimal point, 5 minus 1 equals 4. And there I have my answer, 4 75/100. Don't forget to label. So I've got my variable equals my answer, and then of course I need to label, but you can use the abbreviation for meters there if you would like. There's a couple more story problems here. You can do 1 or 2 of them if you have time for the extra practice. And you don't have to write your own down there. That's fine to skip for today. Thanks a lot, 5th graders. Let me know if you have any questions.